Minister orders reporting of child abuse as 183 cases recorded for 2025. Carrefour opens Microbial lab in St. Lucia. Israel's parliament passes death penalty bill targeting Palestinians. And in sports, Cricket West Indies confirms new format for 2026 West Indies Championship. These and other stories coming up in SVG-TV News and Sports at 7 p.m.
Persons with disabilities, local government and labor is urging the public to report any suspected cases. A number of activities have been planned for this month as the ministry raises awareness in observance of Child Abuse Prevention Month, which was launched today with a march and opening ceremony. Larissa Pogzikid tells us more in this report.
There has been a decrease in child abuse cases in 2025, but it is still too many, says Minister of Family and Gender Affairs, Laverne Gibson-Velix, as her ministry commemorates Child Abuse and Prevention Month, which kicked off today with a march and a launch ceremony under the theme, See Me, Hear Me, Protect Me, My Safety is Your Responsibility.
Too many children in state protective care due to abuse and neglect. According to our data, about 183 reports of child abuse and neglect were received last year in 2025, a slight decrease from the previous year.
The minister made a call for reports of suspected abuse to be made to her ministry or the police.
It affects their mental and physical health, shapes their relationships, and influences their future potential. That is why we must never hesitate to report suspected abuse, even when it feels uncomfortable. Silence is never an option when a child's safety is at risk.
At the launching ceremony, student of the Thomas Saunders Secondary School, Khalil Patterson, was the featured speaker, who emphasized the need for child abuse to be addressed and prevented.
Children should grow up in safe, loving, and nurturing environments where they feel protected, supported, and cared for. They should be able to trust the adults around them and feel secure in their homes, schools, and communities. However, this is not the reality for all children.
Some of the activities planned in collaboration with UNICEF for Child Abuse and Prevention Month include a march in Beckway, a Whistle Stop campaign along the Leeward Coast, parent engagement sessions, and awareness programs using various media platforms.
See me, hear me, protect me. My safety is your responsibility.
For SVG-TV News, Larissa Pogzikid.
Thank you, Larissa. And Vincentian Stuart Haynes will take the helm of the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange, the ECSE, from June 1st this year. In a news release issued today, the ECSE announced the retirement of Managing Director Trevor Blake, who demitted office on December 31st, 2025, following what it described as 20 years of exceptional leadership and dedicated service. The release stated that under Blake's leadership, the ECSE experienced significant change and growth, strengthen its governance and deepening its regional impact. According to the ECSE, Haynes, who currently serves as Executive Director of the National Insurance Services in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, brings more than 25 years of experience in financial management, investment, actuarial science, and institutional leadership across the Eastern Caribbean. Additionally, Haynes is a chartered financial analyst and a fellow of the Faculty and Institute of Actuaries. The ECSE board said it looks forward to welcoming Haynes and it's confident that his leadership will build on the strong foundation established by Blake as the institution enters its next phase of innovation and expansion. There's been no announcement yet as to who will replace Haynes as head of the NIS here in SVG. And opposition leader Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has called for an immediate end to the ongoing war in Iran, citing its growing impact on global and regional economies, including St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Speaking on Star Radio on Monday, Dr. Gonsalves stressed the urgent need for diplomatic intervention to bring the conflict to an end. He emphasized that the war is placing significant pressure on import and export activities, particularly affecting smaller nations that rely heavily on international trade. He noted that even countries attempting to remain neutral are experiencing economic fallout as disruptions in global supply chains continue to worsen.
Can we get through? Can we get the fertilizer to go through? Can we allow intermediate materials, and can we allow food to go through? The best way, of course, for this to be done is to bring this war to an end, for the warring parties to bring it to an end. And this initiative doesn't cut across any plan to open the straits by force or by agreement otherwise. But it's now 4 weeks and people are suffering. We have to do something. We have to do something. And these are voices, influential voices saying we must do something.
Gonsalves warned that continued inaction could deepen the economic strain and prolong the hardship being experienced by countries worldwide. He urged international leaders to prioritize peaceful resolution efforts to restore stability and reduce the growing burden on global trade systems. No chikungunya cases in SVG at this time, but Health Ministry on high alert. This and other stories coming up when we return with more local news. Stay with us.
Welcome to SeaStar.
Welcome to the upgraded SeaStar Limited,
Where we offer to almost all your household items.
They've expanded their range to sofas, dining and patio sets, beds and mattresses, wardrobes, kitchen cabinets, office furniture. That's just a few from the luxurious collection. Not forgetting their signature quality windows, doors, rails, and bathroom enclosures. Journey on up to SeaStar, where their friendly sales clerk is happy to assist. SeaStar Limited, where quality meets style.
A funeral service should be one that you can be proud of, one that leaves lasting memories of your loved ones. And that's where you need the New Haven Funeral Home. We are proud of the quality and class we have brought to the industry. We are proud for having trained the very first certified embalmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are proud of leading the way in terms of live streaming of funerals online so that your family members overseas could also be part of the celebration of life. We're constantly improving our services. We are driven by customer satisfaction, and we are proud of all that we do.
New Haven Funeral Home.
This Tuesday, March 31st, you can be a millionaire. Yes, the Lotto jackpot is now $1 million. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a Little Lotto can do with a jackpot of $1 million. This Tuesday, March 31st, you have to be in it to win it.
Life can be stressful. Work, family, finances, it all adds up. Feeling overwhelmed, struggling with relationships, need help managing stress? you don't have to go through it alone. The Employee Assistance Program, Public Service, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, EAP, is here for you. We have confidential and professional counselors ready to listen and offer support for any personal challenge you might be facing, helping you find balance and get back to feeling your best. Call us today at 784-570-6718 or email eap.mps@gov.vc for more information, because a healthier you is a happier you. At the Employee Assistance Program, Public Service, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, your well-being is our concern.
Welcome back. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has recorded no cases of chikungunya in the last 12 years. However, the Ministry of Health says it is closely monitoring cases in neighboring St. Lucia and warns that it may only be a matter of time before the virus reaches the country. We hear more in this report.
If we are following regional news, we can see that Chick-V is right in St. Lucia. And so because of that, the frequent travel of persons back and forth within the region and so forth is increased risk for persons to become infected with the virus.
Chief Health Promotions Officer Shanika John. John says the Ministry of Health has been taking proactive measures to slow and reduce the spread of mosquito-borne diseases such as chikungunya. However, she stressed that everyone must adhere to the recommended preventative measures.
At this point, it is no longer an isolated intervention, that communities need to come together and clean up and to get rid of all the mosquito potential breeding sites that are existing around us, because even a teaspoon of water can breed hundreds of mosquitoes.
With the Easter weekend approaching, the Ministry of Health is urging the public to remain vigilant.
It is not a matter of if, when and where, it is how soon that we prepare for our first reported case of Chick-V in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As it is now, March 30th, we have no reported or confirmed cases of Chick-V in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
While there is no vaccine for chikungunya, testing is available.
Our lab capacity for testing is fully up. We can test for Chick-V, dengue, and other mosquito-borne diseases right here in St. Vincent. And of course, in some instances where persons need to, we're calling on communities to take action. I encourage Vincentians that we need to prepare ourselves so that we could also reduce the spread. And even if we do get a case or two of Chick-V, that it is not a widespread across St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Surveillance and vector control teams are continuing fogging operations, and the Ministry of Health is expected to ramp up its educational and awareness programs on mosquito-borne diseases. SVG last recorded cases of chikungunya was over a decade ago in 2014. For SVG-TV News, Larissa Pogslickid.
And concerns surrounding youth involvement in gang activity were highlighted during the Police on the Beat program aired on NBC Radio last evening. Constable Raymond Smith outlined several behaviors and warning signs that parents and communities should be mindful of when it comes to young people potentially becoming involved in gangs. He noted that while socializing or liming is a normal part of youth culture, there are certain patterns that should raise concern, particularly when groups begin engaging in petty criminal activities.
You have a group, then you see this group now, they move to, say, involving in fights. You know, this is where the gang violence comes in. They start involving in fights. Then they would be involved in, say, for instance, petty crimes. They would start with a stealing. Starts from the petty crimes, stealing, a little ABH and stuff, then it will gradually develop into something more. A change in appearance, a change in their jewelry, stuff that they wear. Okay. Some of them you will see them start to wear the big gold chains, links, as you call them, rings, right, and so forth. So some of those may be signs.
Meanwhile, Sergeant of Police Edmund Oliver pointed to unemployment as a significant factor contributing to youth delinquency and gang involvement.
We you see young persons, well, mostly there's be young persons.
Right.
When you start see persons liming in a particular area, and more times than not, you start to see them, they have a pattern in the dress code, whether it's colors, the way they have the bandana, the way they have the pants leg, and more times than not, these persons, most if not all of them, they are not walking. That is a red flag. Lots of violence, speaking a lot about violence and so forth. And the behaviors are not really, community oriented.
Right.
They're not doing any positive things in the area.
Both officers emphasized the importance of community involvement, mentorship, and the creation of opportunities for youth as key strategies in addressing the issue. They also encouraged the public to work closely with law enforcement to help steer young people away from crime and toward more positive paths. Police Constable Philip Arundel was on Tuesday remanded into custody when he appeared before the Serious Offences Court on a charge of theft. Arundel is charged that between March 15th and 20th, 2026 in Kingston and Calico, he stole a Suzuki Key, the property of Gerald Griffith of a villa. He pleaded not guilty to the charge. Prosecutor Inspector of Police Renrick Cato objected to bail on the grounds that Arundel is a person of interest in ongoing investigations into attempted murder and firearm possession. He requested 1 week for the investigations to be completed, expressing concern that Arundel could interfere with the process if granted bail. Arundel's attorney, Grant Connell, objected to the application to remand his client, describing it as very unfair. Connell told the court that the police were on a fishing expedition and pursuing a personal vendetta. He said his client had been in custody since Monday, and when he went to the police station to locate him, he was initially told that Arundel was not there. However, upon leaving the station, he encountered a woman who indicated that Arundel was indeed at the facility. Connell further argued that the police appeared to be operating under a system where an individual is treated as guilty until proven innocent, which he said contradicts the legal principle in this jurisdiction that one is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Chief Magistrate Colin John, citing the prosecution's concerns that the lawman could interfere with ongoing investigations, denied bail until Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. And 46-year-old Nicholas Huggins of Golden Vale was arrested Sunday night after allegedly accosting a sergeant of police at the Richardson gas station. It is understood that Sergeant Dwight James was seated in his motor vehicle, which was positioned at the front of a line of vehicles at the service station. A female driver who appeared impatient exited the line, parked her vehicle, got out and walked away. As a result, James reportedly made a comment, but the woman did not respond. Huggins then exited a vehicle and approached James' vehicle with his hand at his waist. Speaking to him, James responded, but Huggins continued advancing with his hand at his waist. As Huggins got very close, the officer drew his weapon and identified himself as a police officer in plain clothes. James then restrained Huggins and managed to remove a firearm that had been concealed at his waist. The nearby narcotics base was contacted and a team of police officers was dispatched to the scene. Huggins was subsequently charged with possession of a Taurus revolver bearing serial number FR92971 without a license and possession of 2 rounds of .38 ammunition without a license. When Huggins appeared before the Serious Offences Court today, he pleaded not guilty to the charges regarding bail. Prosecutor Inspector of Police Renrick Cato did not object but requested suitable surety, reporting conditions, and the surrender of travel documents. Chief Magistrate Colin John granted bail in the sum of $15,000 with 1 surety. As part of his bail conditions, Huggins was ordered to report to the Calico Police Station on Tuesdays between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. and to surrender his travel documents. The Chief Magistrate also ordered that stop notices be placed at all ports of entry and exit in the country. The matter was adjourned and transferred to the Calico Magistrates Court. And that brings us to the end of our local news from the region. When we return, stay with us.
The Ever-Ready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years' experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Ever-Ready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Ever-Ready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494. Ever-Ready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Quality products, quality care, low prices, great customer service, all at QCare Pharmacy. QCare leads the way, providing all your pharmaceutical needs, a variety of personal care products, and so much more. Located on Halifax Street. Telephone number 451-2690. QCare Pharmacy, where the Q stands for quality.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They claim General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices, then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Welcome back. In our news from the region now, we hear that the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, has officially opened a new Microbial laboratory in St. Lucia. The facility will support advanced testing, disease monitoring, and public health research across the region. We hear more in this report.
This service comes at a critical time when a new strain of bacteria is immune to certain medicine and test results are needed to make medical breakthroughs. The stakeholders involved say they will continue to support CARPHA's work so the regional health sector can become more resilient amid viral epidemics.
Today we are launching our antimicrobial regional referral lab, and then by extension it means that we're expanding antimicrobial resistant testing to the region as well as clinical testing to our 3 laboratory hubs. So what does that mean? Countries, all our 26 countries, have faster access for testing. Right here in St. Lucia, they can just, be able to easily drive over or walk over and give their samples, and clinical samples can be tested within 2 hours for a range of priority pathogens as well as for antimicrobial resistant pathogens.
Dr. Indar hopes that the lab services will revolutionize medicine and patient tissue analysis, so targeted medicines can be created for anti-resistant strains of bacteria. She encourages more research on the microbial level so diseases can be better understood and early solutions can be found. The head of CARPHA's medical microbiology lab outlined the services that will be available.
This is a milestone for the region since we are trying to create several hubs to provide services related to bacterial identification and also antimicrobial resistance. So this is the first of the 2 laboratories additionally to the one that we have in Trinidad that we are now commissioning and inaugurating, and the next one will be in Jamaica during the next weeks.
That's our news from the region. The international news is coming up next. Stay with us.
Courts is giving you the chance to experience the Caribbean's premier music and arts event, the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. Every Courts purchase of $2,999 or more from now to April 23rd gives you a chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip for 2 to enjoy the music, the flair, and to create unforgettable memories for you and your guests. Don't miss this opportunity. Shop today only at Courts, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Pharmacy. Why choose us? We have all your prescriptions and over-the-counter medications, personal care products, lowest price guaranteed. Located conveniently next to the Bank of SVG on Grenville Street. Opening hours Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Email us bowmanpharmacy@yahoo.com. Call us today at 456-2235 or 593-3918. Bowman's Pharmacy. Easy to find and ready to serve you.
Singer is a family store. We sell everything you need for your kitchen and more. Top brands and appliances. TVs, fridges, cookers. We make your life so easy. Just come in and see us. A wide range of furniture. Right here at Singer. Affordable beds and mattresses. Right here at Singer. Washing machines to make your laundry clean and fresh. Singer is a family store that gives you the best hire purchase deals. Right here at Singer. We'll outfit your home. Right here at Singer. The #1 family store. It's us with Singer.
Welcome back on the international scene now. We hear that Israel's parliament has passed a new death penalty law that applies exclusively to Palestinians, advanced by far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, who celebrated the vote with champagne inside the chamber. The bill, which could take effect in 90 days, is already being challenged in Israel's Supreme Court over its discriminatory nature. We hear more in this report.
Death sentences only targeting Palestinians. This is the bill Israel's parliament approved late on Monday, a law that far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir has been advocating for and celebrated with a bottle of champagne inside the chamber. Amani Sarahne works at the Palestinian Prisoners Society. She tells us families of Palestinian prisoners are concerned. Dozens who await conviction fear they will face the death sentence by hanging. She has no answers or ways to try to calm their worries and says death is already a risk for many in Israeli detention. Since October 2023, at least 89 Palestinian prisoners have died in Israeli jails, mostly because of torture, deprivation of food and denial of medical treatment. Now, she fears a larger crackdown is on the way.
We meet with released prisoners every day. The attempts to break them are unprecedented. They're either physically broken or psychologically tormented. The Israeli authorities are working to destroy Palestinian prisoners like never before.
Palestinians say they're being denied a fair trial. They're tried in Israeli military courts where the conviction rate is higher than 96% and where confessions are obtained under extreme pressure, sometimes even torture. This new law does not apply to Jewish Israelis, even those accused of what the state itself considers terrorism. Whether soldiers or settlers, Israelis who assault Palestinians are rarely held accountable, sometimes even celebrated. Just in the past few weeks, Israeli courts dismissed a case against Israeli prison guards accused of raping a Palestinian prisoner. That's despite video footage of the attack. Legal experts say the death penalty law is a continuation of Israel's genocidal practices. The law could take effect in 90 days. It's already being challenged in Israel's Supreme Court, and the discriminatory nature of the law could push the court to strike it down. In practice and on the ground, Israel does not need a law to execute Palestinians. Israeli soldiers often conduct extrajudicial killings with little to no accountability. This law is a message, a declaration that there are few red lines, if any, in Israel when it comes to Palestinians. Nida Ibrahim, Al Jazeera, Ramallah, Palestine.
That's the news. Sports is just ahead with Shushka Campbell. But before that, let's take a look at the local weather forecast.
The weather report sponsored by General Hardware.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentions for years with their high prices. They claim General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
The present weather conditions, it's cloudy. Winds northeast at 13 kilometers per hour. Temperature is 25.9 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity is 77%. Barometric pressure is 1011.8 millibars. 24-hour rainfall 2.0 millimeters. Today's maximum temperature is 29.0 degrees Celsius. Today's minimum temperature is 21.6 degrees Celsius. Sunrise at 6:01 a.m., sunset at 6:16 p.m. The forecast, it is fair to partly cloudy at first, becoming occasionally cloudy with some scattered showers. The synopsis, weak unstable conditions are affecting the islands.
The weather report was sponsored by General Hardware.
Tourism has many benefits to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It creates growth and a boost in economic activities, infrastructure development, job creation, entrepreneurship, and is a source of foreign exchange earnings. Supermarkets and vendors, bars, restaurants, taxis, tour guides, hotels, service providers, and many more all benefit directly from income gained through the tourism industry. Taxes collected from visitors to our country help St. Vincent's economy and its growth. Tourism is everyone's business. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Tourism is everyone's business. Yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Good evening and welcome to Evening Sports. I'm Triska Campbell. We hear that Cricket West Indies CWI has confirmed the format for the 2026 edition of the West Indies Championships as the organization continues its comprehensive review of the structure and delivery of regional cricket tournaments for the 2026 to 2027 cycle. The revised format forms part of CWI's broader strategy to strengthen player pathways, improve performance outcomes, and ensure the sustainable management of resources across regional crickets. The review involved extensive consultations with the cricket's strategy and officiating committee, cricket's department, finance department, and executive leadership team. Guided by a purpose-first approach, the review assessed what each tournament must achieve, whether talent identification, selection finalization, tour preparation, or pathway progression, and redesigned formats to preserve relevance and competitive impact while managing operational costs. Under the new structure, the four-day first-class tournament will feature 3 concurrent 3-match bilateral series played across the region, with the traditional West Indies Championships point system being utilized. Key elements of the new format are as follows. The 6 regional franchises will be seeded 1 through 6 based on their final standings at the end of the 2026 edition of the tournament. The winners of each bilateral contest will be ranked 1st through 3rd based on total points accumulated, with the top-ranked team advancing directly to the grand finale. During the playoff round, the first-place team will take on the West Indies Academy to maintain match readiness and ensure fairness of preparation ahead of the final, while the second and third-ranked teams will meet in a playoff match to determine the second finalist. As part of its continued modernization of regional cricket, CWI is also exploring the use of ball tracking technology during the championship to support the talent identification process and strengthen performance analysis. A complete list of the respective squads will be provided once selected and confirmed by all 6 franchises. The Trinidad and Tobago Red Force has called up veteran opener Evan Lewis for the upcoming 4-day regional championships, his first red ball recall in 8 years. Head coach Emirates says the aggressive left-hander is exactly what the team needs at the top of the order. There's more from TTT Sports' Nerissa Mohammed.
Evan Lewis last featured in regional red ball cricket back in 2017, but a strong domestic club season with best mottos marching Patriots, including a double century, has earned him a call-up in the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force squad to compete in the West Indies Championship 2026.
I mean, it would have been unprofessional of us not to at least give him the opportunity to represent Trinidad and Tobago. We had discussions with him back and forth, and he decided that he wants to give it another go. And
the selection raised eyebrows, coming ahead of Jeremy Solazano, Cephas Cooper's regular opening partner at Powergen Penal Sports, who also struck a double century this season. Coach Amrit says Lewis fits his philosophy of positive, attractive cricket and sees his partnership with Cooper as the ideal combination to open the innings for the Red Force.
I think with the combination of Evan and Cooper is exactly what we need at the top of the innings. My sort of coaching philosophy, I want to be as attractive and I don't want to say rash, but we want to play as positive as possible.
The coach admits trimming the squad was no easy task, pointing to lead-in wicket taker Ricky Jaipal and breakout T20 star Navin Bidesi among those who narrowly missed the cut. A sign, he says, of the depth now available to the franchise.
It was a bit of a headache. I think it's a good headache to have when you have players on the bench who is just as good as the 13 selected. So we had discussions with the guys who've been left out. They understand, yes, they're hurt, which rightfully they should be. But the pool that we have now, I think we have a very good pool of about 20 players that we can choose.
The Red Force begin a 3-day practice match on Tuesday before heading to Antigua, where they open the 4-day championship against the Leeward Islands Hurricanes on April 12th at the Coolidge Cricket Ground.
A national fast bowling institution has been established in Barbados. It's the Pace Like Fire Academy located at the National Sports Council's Belheim Sports Facility. This announcement from Sports Administrator and Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Sport at the University of the West Indies, Amanda Reefer, explains the purpose of the academy. Ms. Reefer also outlined the aims for cricketers after they graduate. Meanwhile, Sports Minister Charles Griffith says government through his ministry and the Arts and Sports Promotion Fund is pleased to partner with this initiative.
We are going to be selecting 15 out of a cohort of, I would say, over 50 candidates applied to be tested, scientifically tested. We went through paces here at Blenheim over the last few days, and we have selected 15 to enter into a 4-year fast bowling program. The program is built on the tenets of sports science, nutrition, strength and conditioning, mental skills. Is a holistic program. We want to be able to place these young people. There's several franchises, there's national West Indies teams. So not only we want to look at the development of the players themselves, both male and female, but we're also looking at the development of the coaches and ensuring that our coaches, we build up a cadre of coaches that are capable of moving into the international space and coaching at a very high level, specifically for fast bowling.
To unearth young pacers, I think it is a fantastic initiative. I believe that we can only, export some of our pacers. One of the things that I saw this evening that is important for me is that females are involved in this process. And you would have heard from Amanda that this is a holistic program, so it is not just about teaching those youngsters how to bowl fast, but in actual fact, there's a full development. We are in an age where all of what is happening in terms of AI, in terms of technology, is coming to bear on this particular program. And like I said, my ministry, government, is prepared to work in partnership with the initiative for the next 4 years. I believe that it is 15 individuals per cohort. So at the end of the day, I think that we will have what we're looking for and we will get what we want out of this program.
Barbados and West Indies fast bowlers Kimar Roach and Fidel Edwards are also involved in the initiative, which comprises a legacy component. And that's how we end sports this evening. I'm Triska Campbell. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
The big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices, then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day, because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
$403,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot for Tuesday, March 31st. It's $403,000.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Welcome back. Thank you, Trishka, for bringing us the evening sports. Now for a second look at the headlines. Minister urges reporting of child abuse as 183 cases recorded for 2025. CAFA opens a second lab in St. Lucia to test for bacteria. Israel's parliament passes death penalty bill targeting Palestinians. And in sports, Cricket West Indies confirms new format for 2026 West Indies Championship. Now for a recap of the local weather forecast. It is fair to partly cloudy at first, becoming occasionally cloudy with some scattered showers. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. I am Rochelle Batiste, inviting you to visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news and daily headlines. Also check out SVG-TV News in 15 weekdays at 12:45 p.m. Again, thanks for viewing. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
SVG's Heart and Soul. Magic 103.7, 91.5. Today's music, yesterday's hits.
24 karat